What is he?
Oh no, it's Ragiroth Enterprises!
I love to sing about the moon and the June and the spring. I love to sing about a sky of blue or a keyboard to anything.
How's it going, everybody? Rich from Ragiroth Enterprises here with another E3 prediction video. Did a Mortal Kombat one, I did a Soul Calibur one, but now it's time to look at more of the Nintendo side of things. I initially was thinking of doing like a general Nintendo prediction video. However, I'm like, I think that would just be too much to predict. And things have already been kind of hinted at and leaked and all that stuff anyway. So I think instead I was just going to focus on Smash Brothers because that is the thing I'm most looking forward to getting officially shown off. Besides the one teaser trailer we had a few months back, and with all the leaks that have been going around, I decided to kind of factor in two possible prediction sets. One, if the Vergaben / Reset Era, or however you say that, if that winds up being true, or just kind of my, gut predictions. I'm just going to focus on that leak because that kind of seems like it has the most attraction to it, for lack of a better term. So, all right, let's begin.
Okay, so now Bomberman flat out says that he heard from one of his most reliable sources that our boy Ridley will be playable, and he will be announced at E3, so boom, right there, we got Ridley. Amazing. So, not even going to argue that. So now, then he mentions he hears from another source that Simon Belmont is being added from Konami, and Ice Climbers are coming back. There are no cuts. Even though it's a new game, they'll mostly be using assets. And also, he's also recently heard that Solid Snake will be back, which is very cool. So I think from this we can deduce. I personally think, even though he only explicitly mentions that Ridley's the one and then being announced at E3, I'm gonna say that Simon will also be announced as well. The reason is because he's actually in a similar place that Mega Man was when he was announced for Super Smash Bros 4. You can even make the same argument for Pac-Man because they're both very requested, and more so Mega Man. Mega Man was incredibly requested. He's from a series that was basically dead at that point, and he's a character that's been around for a very long time that's had a lot of history with Nintendo. You could say the same with Pac-Man, just kind of, though, to a lesser degree, and they were both announced at E3. And then Snake, well, he was the first third-party character ever announced for Smash Brothers, so that's kind of a different case. However, he is a Konami character, so I guess there's that little bit of nudge that would help Simon. I just feel like he would seem like a very great choice for an E3 reveal. I know I'm biased towards him because I really do want him as well, along with Ridley. So I think Ridley and Simon will be two of the newcomers announced. Then I think Ice Climbers will be revealed as well. I think because they're the most expected ones to come back, they were only cut because of system limitations. And I feel like, they would be shown off. It wouldn't be like as a huge of a deal as Ridley and Simon Belmont, but it may be like a little, hey, look, they're back kind of thing. Maybe they'd be shown off in like the Treehouse after the Direct, something like that. So I think it's safe to say they would be announced as well. I think there would be at least somewhat hype with them because it's like, they represent a solo series, and I know people want them back. I'm kind of like, but I know they should come back. So. I know a lot. I think I've seen some people are worried if this leak is true that that's all we'll be getting, and I think that is entirely possible, especially because I should also mention we know they're going to officially show off the Inklings gameplay and all that. And while there are characters I'm not really over the moon are in the game, I do like them and think they deserve to be in the game, and I'm curious to see what they'll play like. I'm sure they will, because I'd imagine they'd be pretty unique. So we'll have two newcomers, one newcomer that I guess just didn't really get shown off yet, Inklings, and then one returning character. I think I could see them maybe at least releasing one more newcomer. Now, I don't know about if I don't know if they would confirm Snake coming back. It's hard to say because it's like, it would be like confirming both the Konami characters. I don't know. I'm gonna say he's probably not, especially because I would think that Vergaben kind of added later. It's really hard to predict whether a newcomer could be announced. I don't know if it'll be another third-party character. I actually believe it's going to be either Captain Toad, Waluigi, King K. Rool, or a Xenoblade character being either Rex and Pyrrha or Elma. Because I feel like a Mario character, it's Mario. It's always a big deal when they're not a Mario character. I don't know if it's going to be a new Pokemon character, even though I think there will be a new Pokemon character. For some reason, they just don't ever want to show a new Pokemon character at E3. You would think they would, because it's Pokemon, one of the biggest series Nintendo's had, maybe one of the biggest game series ever. But I don't know, that's always kind of a non-E3 reveal for some reason. But yeah, I think it'd be probably, because I think King K. Rool is also another very requested character, like Ridley. I think he did very well on the ballot, supposedly. Captain Toad, or Waluigi, they're both Mario characters and are fairly requested. I'm going to have to unfortunately say I think Captain Toad is probably more likely, as much as I would like Waluigi. I think it'd be them, and it's like for the Xenoblade characters, it's like, it could really go either way. Like, Elma's been around a while, and she was definitely relevant when development for the game started, but at the same time, Rex and Pyrrha are just kind of the big focus for Xenoblade right now, and Sakurai really does like that game. And maybe he got insider information a little before, and I'd be okay with either of them. I would prefer Elma though. Ragiroth did mention that he did hear there will supposedly be Minecraft content. He didn't say if it was a character or not, but I think I'm really hoping there's not a character. I really don't want a Minecraft character, though. Having Ridley and Simon Belmont would kind of make me forgive that. I do think it is possible we will see a Minecraft stage. I think that sounds plausible. But yeah, I think that's about it for this part of the prediction. Now, moving on to just kind of my general predictions for it. Okay, so now let's say, hypothetically, the Vergaban and Resetera leaks are fake, which would be very upsetting, but, let's just say hypothetically. So we find out if the game is a port or a new game. I think most of us are kind of leaning it's going to be a new game at this point, but we'll definitely find that out. Probably find out the release date. Hopefully it probably should be this year. Gonna see, some Inkling gameplay. Definitely gonna show how they play. I guess you can probably switch outfits and colors between the male or female Inkling. So now for newcomers, if that leak is fake, I unfortunately think I thought if it wasn't for that leak, I would have no hope for Ridley at all. I've admitted before I've basically given up on him. This leak is kind of the thing that's giving me a bit of hope. So I think that would leave room for another Metroid character. We probably got Dark Samus or Sylux. Even though I would love Dark Samus, and she could easily be promoted from a non-assist trophy, I think, unfortunately, just because of the, how do I say this nicely, the closed-mindedness of people, would probably see Dark Samus as a very lame E3 reveal, maybe a lame reveal altogether. I would be thrilled, but I just know it wouldn't be a good idea. Now, Sylux, I actually think has a shot. Depending on if Metroid Prime 4 is shown off, and if he is shown and confirmed to have a big role in the story of that game. Because the thing is, if he is, it might be, some might say this too soon, and it could be too soon. He would strike me more as a DLC character. However, Sylux isn't a new character. He just hasn't really had really much oomph behind him. I think if Corrin could be added as DLC when his game is not, his or her game is not even out in America yet, I think a character that would just be pushed to the forefront in a game that's not out yet could just very well be announced for Smash 4. So I think Sylux is a possibility, but not super likely. Now for the more likely predictions, I would say the third-party character, I'm going to say it's either going to be Shovel Knight or Bomberman. Because I see both of these characters have a lot of requests behind them. And there was a possible tease for a Bomberman announcement from Smash Brothers. It could have been interpreted that, I don't know. On Twitter. I'm also going to say Banjo-Kazooie as well. Bomberman, Shovel Knight, or Banjo-Kazooie. They all seem to have some kind of request behind them. Shovel Knight seems very requested. Bomberman, I think, has some requests behind them. I think Banjo-Kazooie too. They would all aesthetically fit in the game. All could have unique movesets. I think Yacht Club's games really wants Shovel Knight to be in Smash Bros. A lot of people do. And of which is one of the most likely, it's really hard to say. Because Shovel Knight is easily the most requested, I think. But I think just the fact he's like an indie character sort of hurts his chances, at the very least, being announced at E3. Just because E3 is such kind of a general, widespread audience kind of thing. At the very least, I could see him being revealed later, or at the very least, maybe a DLC character. But I do think it's possible to be shown off at E3. I think he is kind of established enough at this point. Bomberman and Banjo-Kazooie, I think, are a lot more iconic, though. And I think it would sort of still be pretty big shocks. Because, I mean, Bomberman's game doing pretty good on the Switch. You know, and to me, it's like, I like Bomberman. I love Bomberman 64 and Bomberman Hero. I grew up on those games. I personally don't think he'd be a very interesting character in Smash Brothers. I think Simon Belmont is a lot cooler and has a lot more going for him. That's just me, though. But I do think he is, I do think, you know, he is a little more possible than Simon if I'm not thinking those leaks are going to be true. And now Banjo-Kazooie, I mean, they're incredibly requested. They're very associated with Nintendo. Really, their only issue is they're owned by Microsoft. However, I think the president of Microsoft or someone, one of the higher ups from Microsoft, said they would really like Banjo-Kazooie to be in Smash Brothers. So, I mean, you know, the possibility is there. I mean, I would be like happy. Again, I prefer someone like Simon Belmont. But, I mean, again, I grew up with Banjo-Kazooie, and it'd be amazing to see them in the game. I mean, even though I kind of like, as characters and design-wise, I like Yooka-Laylee more. Obviously, Banjo-Kazooie are a lot more iconic and recognizable ones. And I would totally understand if they made it over them. But I feel like these are the three possible, third-party characters that would be confirmed if I'm just ignoring the leaks. Now, for first-party newcomers, as I mentioned the other ones, I think Captain Toad or Waluigi, King K. Rool, and a Xenoblade character have a shot. It's either going to be, I think maybe Captain Toad, or I'm going to say Captain Toad, K. Rool. I mean, I don't really know. I'm just going to say, I really can't. I'll just say a Xenoblade character. I really can't make up my mind who's more likely there. It could really go either way with them. So I think with those three, yeah, I think it is entirely possible there will be more newcomers announced, because the game isn't that far away. But I think that would still be, I think, you know, and they probably, you know, I'm very convinced, leak or not, Ice Climbers will be confirmed, so you can kind of count them in there too. Yeah, I don't know if there'll be any more. I mean, I think there'll be a lot of veterans shown off, you know, regardless if there's cuts or not. So I think it'll still be a much larger amount than what's been shown at the past couple Smash Bros. E3s. Because I think there will be still an okay amount of newcomers. But if there are no cuts, I don't think that there'll be as many newcomers. But yeah, I think that's better for this prediction.
Another thing I did want to add in regards to the Vergaban leaks is that he did mention something that might further help his case, maybe. He mentioned that there was some kind of Castlevania compilation coming into the Switch that one of his sources told him, and I think that might have been leaked too. And that would probably, if anything, help his case even slightly, because that would be more of a reason to announce Simon Belmont as a character in Smash Brothers. And the funny thing is, as crazy it seems, Simon and I guess Ice Climbers are the things that are maybe lesser likely of his leaks, because again, we have the Reset Era people kind of backing up Ridley, and he even said that the more confident source is the one that mentioned Ridley, and I think even the less confident one did too, but that was the only one that mentioned Simon and Ice Climbers and no cuts and all that junk. I just want to throw that in there too. I was meaning to throw that in with the predictions of the first one. Yeah, let me know what you guys think. What do you think is going to be announced for Smash at E3? I know I was kind of just focusing on the character reveals, stages and modes. It's that could be anything, and I feel like the stages will just be kind of tied to the newcomers. If Simon gets announced, I have Dracula's Castle. Ridley gets announced, I guess Pyros, or maybe the last area in Metroid Samus Returns. Ice Climbers, obviously new Ice Climbers, you know, or maybe the Melee or Brawl Ice Climbers level, hopefully the Brawl one. Yeah, because you can pretty much just say if there's a new character, there'll be a new stage with them. So it's like, that's kind of why I'm bothered predicting stages. Modes, it's like, I feel like that could go a bunch of different ways. I don't really know how to predict. But I do want to say they'll talk more about modes and hopefully more single player modes, because while Smash 4 didn't have terrible single player content, it was definitely lacking compared to Brawl and arguably even Melee as well. But yeah, like I said, let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Who do you think is going to be announced at E3? What do you think is going to be announced at E3 for Smash Brothers? Do you think the leaks are real? Do you think they're fake? Do you just want to see goddamn Ridley? Like the video if you like it, dislike it if you dislike it, it's a free country. I would say check out my friend Mark Greenart in the description below. You still can, however, he unfortunately is not making videos anymore. And I should also say that the time of me making this video is Thursday, and I'm releasing it on Saturday. And again, that's usually when I release my videos, so check my channel out on Saturday, usually in the afternoon. And as I always say, another time, another place, keep being awesome.